formation. Hokies in the white, LIU in the blue. As Virginia Tech readies itself up at 5-2, Sharks at 1-7. We are underway. Georgia Amoore, the point guard, ready to lob it in the corner for Eck. And we are underway with a 3 already, just 8 seconds in.
Matilda Eck has been the one transfer of the 3 that has been pretty consistently good, and I think she's going to get better and better.
LIU just one win on the season, that one coming against Hampton. Swinging out in the corner. Driving in, ball goes over the backboard, but now Harkless will go to the line, the junior from Jacksonville.
Virginia Tech
transfer out of Mercer. Really active. Gets after it on the defensive end. Receiver take it to the hole right there and pick up a foul right away.
Harkless 10 of 11 on the year from the free throw line and make it 11 of 12. Well, Coach Haynes out today with an illness, so acting head coach today for LIU will be Chris Dunn, former West Virginia State standout in Institution, West Virginia Division II school.
Institute, West Virginia. That's I've been through there a couple times.
Wow.
Not on purpose.
Here's Eck again for 3. Bit too hard. Misha pulls down the offensive board. Misha thought about it from the free throw line. It's pulled down.
Misha just hesitated a little bit that time. She's a really good shooter from right there. Of course, kept that ball alive with the offensive rebound.
Another one of those transfers really trying to find their way into the lineup. How can they consistently produce for Virginia Tech? Misha did not start against LSU. Now back in the starting lineup here against LIU. Long 2 is no good. Samantha Bailey trying to get a hand in there, but it's tipped over to Amoore.
Bailey's been injured. Good addition back to the starting lineup.
Kitley foul down low. So Chris Dunn, acting head coach today. It's his 5th season with LIU. Also serves as their recruiting coordinator. It's a pretty interesting development with head coach out with an illness. Wish her well. Coach Chris Dunn in to command the Sharks here today. Here's what Kitley can do out of the double team and finds 2 points.
Just so calm in the post. Never gets in a rush. Doesn't let contact bother her because she gets hit a lot down there.
Imaya O'Brien running as the point guard today for LIU.
This is one of the few times Georgia Amoore will have a size advantage.
And reach in there, dribbles in. A good play by Bailey, the Paris transfer.
Yeah, getting beat off the dribble is a concern for Kenny Brooks.
Here's Eck. Unable to knock the 3 down. Here comes O'Brien and a track meet down the floor.
It's hard to outrun Georgia Amoore, especially if you're dribbling and she's not. LIU runs a lot of sets. This is called an Iverson cut right here.
If it works out, Hokies had it defended well with Kayla King. Amoore for the tray. Hokies continuing to be cold from 3. Only went 4 of 21 from 3 land against LSU and a turnover there. Quickly stolen by Amoore. 1-on-1, hard bounce. Eck to the glass.
Nice job running the floor. Amoore waited, kept her spacing right, got the ball to Eck in stride.
Eck with 5 of the first 7 for Tech.
Eck got the points that time, but Amoore made the play.
Clara Strack almost ready to check in. Another drive, loose ball. Hokies have already forced a few turnovers for LIU. Here comes King. Kitley was wide open.
I've said this before. King to Kitley.
I've been saying it for them since 9th grade. Wrapping up a long basketball journey, ending here in Blacksburg. Tyler's trying to find some space. Hokies have been able to poke the ball loose a few times now. Here comes Amoore. Working on O'Brien with the step, no good. Mishaw trying to clean it up and can't do it.
Nice move by Amoore. Hustling back, came up with that rebound.
Tyler, the sophomore from Connecticut, throws the ball over. Here comes Dowdy.
Good switch right there by Eck and Kitley.
Lost the ball. Kitley swiped it back in. And Eck called with a walk. Both teams trying to find their stride here. Kenny Brooks looking on in his 8th season as the head coach. And conversations with him still going back from the beginning of the year to really now continuing to revolve around the idea we still have to find out who we are as a basketball team.
Yeah, and the 3 transfers have to be part of that solution. And then the freshmen, if the freshmen are part of the solution, then that's like what he said at shoot-around today, that's the cherry on top. He doesn't have to count on it, but the transfers have to produce.
Tyler with a good layup down low on Amoore. Here's Clara Strack, the freshman.
A little zone by LIU. They play a couple different zones. They show 1-3-1 right there.
Wenzel with a zip down low. And looking for the call here. It will go to Long Island. That is it here for the first media timeout. 9-6, Hokies up.
Always a big key. You'll see it right here. You'll see Kayla King drive it to the baseline, and you'll see Kitley's man have to help. Roll this. Here comes the help. Beautiful bounce pass. Kitley with the easy basket.
You're not going to find many easier buckets than that for Liz Kitley, who's got 4 so far. Matilda Eck leading the way for Virginia Tech. Here's Kitley with a baseline jumper, and those baseline out-of-bounds plays executed to perfection for the Hokies, courtesy of whatever Kenny Brooks just drew up in the timeout.
I think half of her points have come on that play, and nobody stops it.
Especially not in these non-conference games at home, averaging 22 points per game in those home non-conference matchups, and really the only outlier in those last few seasons going back all the way to when she started. That was, she scored 4 against Tennessee when the Volunteers came here. The Lady Vols came here a few years ago. But the last 2, it's been all Liz Kitley.
Very interested to see Strack and Kitley play together. We haven't seen it a lot this season, but it's certainly something I think that intrigues the coaches.
Kayla King able to step into a 3.
That intrigues the coaches in a big way.
King hit just 1 3 against LSU, or for a Virginia Tech team that really struggled from beyond three-point land. You talk about how interesting for Clara Strack, how will she play against Kitley? Talk about learning college basketball. Strack with that tough game against LSU, fouling out in just 5 minutes in the first half.
Yeah, and come off of a really good game against Houston Christian where she had 19 and 8 at home. Showed you the flashes of what she can really be. She really reminds me a lot of Kitley when she was a freshman.
And that's really a very tall task to live up to for just a freshman, following Liz Kitley, who has been here for the better part of 5 seasons.
Fortunately, Strack doesn't have to play. Kitley was thrown to the wolves and responded.
That first game, I feel like we were so young then, Mac. We called that game. It was against St. Francis.
You were a freshman.
Here's King again. Offensive board for Strack. Here's Kitley trying to tap the ball home. Instead, Virginia Tech keeps it. Wenzel will try. They'll take a 3.
Offensive rebounds are such a good time to get a 3-point shot. All the defense is collapsed. You're going to get something wide open if you can come away with it.
Foul called on Amoore.
Yeah, eventually O'Brien pushed off, but that was only after Amoore got a little handsy out there.
So Ashley Austin, who we highlighted in the open, the senior from Compton, is in. Did not start, now running in. She does look like she has her middle finger taped up. See if how that plays out to be a factor here in this one.
Matched up against Kayla King, who's been a really good defender.
Sydney Smith throws the ball into the backcourt, and Virginia Tech will take over.
So far for LIU. Hokies have been, I think the message got across from Coach Brooks about being a little more aggressive on the defensive end.
Yeah, it seems like Long Island really wasn't able to drive anything inside without the Hokies taking a swipe at the ball.
A little zone action here, a little 1-3-1. Anytime you can get the ball in the high post against the zone, something good usually happens.
Jump pass down to Kitley. Swiped out of bounds. It'll stay with Virginia Tech.
Let's see what kind of magic Kenny Brooks uses on this baseline.
Will it be another Kitley baseline jumper? No. This time a handoff back to the point guard. Step back three. King's got it again.
That looks like the Kayla King we remember, not the one from the LSU game.
King has always had that ability to step back and really change the game from beyond the arc.
Been so good again. You know, she and Liz Kitley have been the faces of the program, if you will. Kayla King is a great shooter, grown into a really good defender. Hasn't gotten off to the great start for the final season, but you kind of know that you can count on it.
LIU has to hurry here. They get a prayer up. It is a shot clock violation. Amoore looks for help. Long lob to the freshman in Wenzel.
Good challenge on the shot right there. Wenzel's been a pleasant surprise. Played really good against Iowa, but only the one game in double figures so far.
For Wenzel, she has also gotten to play a good amount. The redshirt freshman from Texas missed all of last season, was sat out on that Final Four run. Now has gotten a good amount of playing time here in the non-con. Another lob out. It will go to Virginia Tech with 10.4 here before the first quarter ends.
Yeah, actually, I was looking a little frustrated right there.
The Hokies have drawn up for a potential buzzer beater here. Will it be Amoore that takes it, or will she ask for some help? Bounce to Strack, perfect right before the horn. 22-8, Hokies lead. And 100% of your donation goes directly to cancer research. Really important stuff that ESPN gets to highlight every year, and always inspiring to hear the speech from head coach Jim Valvano. He's up 22-8 and closing out that first quarter on a 13-2 run. It was 9-6 at one point.
5 offensive rebounds for 6 turnovers. That's 11 plus possessions right there. And of course, LIU has really struggled all year to score. They only average 55 points a game.
That one win coming against Hampton University. Raya Elohim is called with a travel. Another turnover for the Sharks.
Yeah, she's a shooter, but having to play a little point guard here tonight. O'Brien on the bench right now. Haven't worked a lot against the zone.
Out on Amoore with a bounce feed to King. Oh, Kayla King really has been feeling herself so far here in the first half.
Yeah, and 5 assists for Georgia Amoore already.
This does just seem like one of those games where Amoore might not light it up in the scoring department, but she's going to dish out the ball a good amount of times.
Hadn't scored, but been responsible for 10.
There's Ashley Austin, a ball off of the backboard. Offensive rebound, LIU by Dowdy. Another long missed shot. Olivia Summiel comes in. Another interesting player to watch out for Virginia Tech. She had that great game as Clara Strack hits an and one.
Another assist, and Strack playing through a lot of contact right there. Hokies with some numbers. Look at Amoore. Look it off. Find Strack sprinting the floor. If your big man runs the floor, you got to give her the basketball.
Look at that, Mac. That was a freshman in the midst of 3 players.
I'm telling you, she hasn't played a ton because, you know, it's hard to get minutes in there, especially with Liz Kitley ahead of you, the 2-time ACC Player of the Year. But this young lady is talented.
And gets the roll off of the flange of the rim. So now 28-8. Maya O'Brien back in. Elohim into the paint and draws a foul.
Virginia Tech foul number 1,
Wenzel with a little too aggressive right
there. He's going to stay on the floor for an inbound play. So Strack gets the break, goes back to the bench after the and one.
A lot of attaboys over there on the bench.
Summiel on defense with a shot able to fall for Dowdy. Make that Harkless, actually.
Harkless made a nice play right there, protected the basketball. Kitley knocks that one out of bounds. Going for that offensive rebound.
Does look like Virginia Tech on a few of these plays is really pushing the pace. They're shooting threes early, and I mean early into the shot clock.
Well, if you struggle scoring, you know, getting some baskets in transition before the defense gets set can really help.
Matilda Eck has been the target of a few of those threes. Down the shot clock again. No good from Dowdy. Rebound Eck.
Nice block out by Eck.
There's Amoore creating space all on her own. Elohim spins, and Carly Wenzel got a full palm on the basketball.
Really tough to stay in front of somebody coming full speed at you. And Wenzel did a nice job there, and they got a hand on the ball, too, to knock it away. 8 turnovers now for the Sharks.
Georgia Amoore slammed the ball down into the shoe of Elohim, or excuse me, make that O'Brien.
I like Blackbirds.
You like that better than Sharks?
The old, I guess they combined 2 campuses. So we'll talk a lot about that later on.
A combination of LIU Post and LIU Brooklyn. Meanwhile, a old-fashioned three-point play coming up for Liz Kitley.
And Amoore's 7th assist. She has the school record with 16 set earlier in the year.
Already 7 dimes. She had that 16 against Houston Christian.
That may be in danger.
Well, already almost halfway there with about 7 minutes left to go here in the first quarter.
Kitley with the 3-point play.
Now, it's something that's rare, especially when it's going to come to the ACC season, is the fact that Georgia Amoore is not on the floor right now. She's taking a break.
Good communication right there, good switch.
Comes Harkless, swatted away by Kitley.
Using her size, kept her feet moving. Watch this, keep her feet moving, no contact, and a clean block up top. This has gotten hit in the face 2 or 3 games in a row.
Looks like that did not feel good from Harkless.
Even back to Iowa, if you remember, toward the end of that game.
That was a pretty physical matchup for Liz Kitley.
It was a physical matchup for both teams.
Right. What a fun showcase for women's basketball. I mean, I know we're going on almost a month from that game, but what a cool experience that was.
Yeah, there have been so many great games, from the game in Paris, Iowa, Virginia Tech early, and a couple Final Four teams, LSU, Virginia Tech getting together.
There's a big one tonight between the Hawkeyes and the Cyclones, Iowa State on ESPN2.
I wonder if they call that the Cy-Hawk Classic also. I know they do for football, right?
Right, yeah.
Maybe.
But please don't turn the channel to that game. Please listen to me and Mac talk and watch this
That'll
game.
be later.
Yeah, that's at 7 o'clock. It's off the free throw, rebound Kitley.
It's the emphatic rebound by Kitley.
Yeah, it looked like there was a little bit of aggression there for Kitley after pulling that one down. And a back in on Tylis. A 3-second violation called on the Hokies.
Sung-Young down low. She had position, couldn't get the pass. Didn't get out of there. You got to get out and get back in. Another the freshman making her appearance.
Yeah, Karis Baker into the game. Hasn't scored in the last few games for the Hokies. What a step from Austin. Good feed out to O'Brien. And an air ball 3.
Yeah, you see why Austin is so effective offensively. She went by 2 or 3 people.
Foul call down low. That's going to go on Harkless. That is the team's 3rd foul, so it will keep the ball on the floor. Rose Mishaw checking back in. Mac, I think Rose Mishaw is another interesting question for Virginia Tech. She gets into the starting lineup, but you see these large gaps of time where she is spent on the bench.
Yeah, and still learning the position. She was basically in the Liz Kitley kind of role for Minnesota, and now she's in a little bit different role and still making that adjustment.
Kicking back out, King returns. Kitley spins, no good. Karis Baker crashes in for the offensive board. Made that 3 possible. Kitley going to the line.
It's a good offensive set for the Hokies. Inside out, back inside, offensive rebounds, sharing the basketball. And then the 2-time player of the year ends up with the basketball and the fouls.
Liz Kitley trying to chase down the program rebound record here in the next few games already tonight with 4 rebounds. And now also has 10 points to show for it as well. Make it 11 for Kitley.
A good aggressive rebound that time by Baker also. Mishaw was pounding the boards, and of course Kitley is always near there.
Kitley gets a break. Strack comes in. For the Hokies on the floor right now, newcomers paired up with the veteran Kayla King. Offensive foul.
Offensive foul.
Good job by Baker, the freshman, right there, moving her feet.
So brings us to another break. Hokies up 33-11. Another good night from Kitley so far. Kitley, she's 4 of 6 from the field already.
And you just can't take anything away from her. She finds a way, whether it be the easy basket like that or playing on the baseline out of bounds, finding an opening, or she's battling against 2 or 3 people through contact. And all that results in a whole lot of record setting.
Yeah, this is one of the few games, Mac, that didn't start off with Liz Kitley being presented with a ceremonial game ball. Because most of them is, Liz Kitley broke this record. And I believe she should have potentially gotten one here tonight for games started, and they just chose not to give it to her. So, I mean, that is a trophy case that is just absolutely slam full of basketballs. Tylis picks the ball off and able to capitalize on the layup.
Yeah, strike with the rookie mistake that time. Pass knocked away.
Interesting look for Virginia Tech with Wenzel running the point for the Hokies. There's Strack with the left hand, taking it to the rim.
You can't teach that. The patience that it takes to play in the post, let the defense make the mistake and dictate where you go. She has that already. She learns how to play really hard and move on defense.
Offensive foul. That will go on Dowdy. So for Dowdy, that's her second. Meanwhile, Amoore and Kitley coming back in. Get another look at this foul.
Yeah, you got to be set. That's a point of emphasis, has been for a couple of years. And the 10th turnover for the Sharks.
Karis Baker, freshman, nails the three.
That's really nice basketball. And Baker is such a threat.
Karis Baker, that's her first bucket in quite a while for Virginia Tech. Had been scoreless. And first one she's been able to knock down since that game against UNC Greensboro.
Still learning what she can do on the defensive end. You know, she's a big wing or small post, but she's got athletic ability. Certainly got great genes, and gosh, can she shoot the basketball.
Yeah, her father, Vin Baker, was former NBA stalwart and a first-round draft pick out of Hartford. Baker stays out there for Virginia Tech, and once again, a little bit of an older lineup between Amoore, Kitley, and King. Hokies force yet another shot clock violation. Well, it's been a tough start to the season for LIU. 1-7 on the year. Started off the season with a couple of tough games against St. John's and Minnesota, Mac.
Yeah, they continue to change defenses, and I think that's good for Virginia Tech. Gives the Hokies a chance to work against, a couple different looks. See, that was a good defensive play by Baker, running the floor, getting her hand on the ball.
Samaya Suffren running into the game for Virginia Tech. Saw her right at the end of that LSU matchup for the Hokies.
Fans haven't seen a lot of her yet. She had 6 points against Houston Christian, but she can play. She's strong, quick, can really penetrate, could be a really good defender, just still learning how to play as a combo kind of guard.
Georgia Amoore scores for the first time tonight.
Who's not still learning how to play?
Well, Amoore had been dishing them out before that, decided to nail the three, just her second attempt from long range tonight. So she's got 3 points and 8 assists.
Halfway to the record.
That she already set.
Depending on how much she plays tonight, that could determine whether she gets it again.
That was a game where the Hokies also got over the century mark and won by 69 points. And that missed the rim as well. Suffren. Good bounce to Karis Baker.
Karis Baker.
Double freshman. Hokie fans will be seeing that combination for several more years. It's a good freshman class. They just have a steep learning curve to play basketball at this level. Which by this level I mean the Final Four level.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting challenge for Kenny Brooks in the next few years, with Kitley and King definitely leaving after the season. There's a little bit more recruiting juice around this program for Virginia Tech, with some big freshmen coming in next year as well. How will they start to fit into this mold of the program?
Yeah, it has been, there's been a lot of continuity with Kitley and King.
6 freshmen for Virginia Tech, and they've gotten a good amount of playing time so far here on the season. Another 3-second violation called.
Yeah, that's 2 more than I've seen this year.
Kenny Brooks.
Not that they weren't earned.
Right, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Kenny Brooks didn't look ecstatic about that. in Ashley Austin. Boy, LIU is just having trouble hitting the rim at this point. Kayla King wide open for three, but it will not count. It is a walk. And King seems a bit baffled by that.
So is Kenny Brooks. He's having a little discussion. It's really hard to argue up 43-13 with a lot of enthusiasm, though.
I don't know.
What's your call?
Yeah, I don't think so. Well, like you said, what are you going to do? Just argue when you're already up by 30? I don't know.
I think he was pointing it out for future reference. Good play by Baker.
Seems she can do it on the offensive end, and she sure can.
And a nice pass by Suffren in traffic. The freshman combining again, the second time they've hooked up together.
For LIU, they have scored just 5 here in the second quarter. Another loose ball. Here's Baker. 3-on-1 go the Hokies. King airballs the 3. Goes back to LIU. That was a rare air ball there for the senior.
Maybe thinking about that walking call. Get those feet set. She's had a good night. Got off to a good start.
Ashley Austin going to the bench. Maya O'Brien trying to get a bucket before halftime break. Down to 7 seconds. Swiped away. Samaya Suffren. She had way more time than she thought.
That's that freshman. Not quite as aware as she needed to be. Made a good play and got really excited.
Here comes Maya O'Brien. That was just about an inch off of the rim. But that will do it here for the first half. 45-13 Virginia Tech.
Offense certainly was out of sorts, even though they haven't been really good offensively all year.
Just one win on the season for this team out of the NEC. Kayla King almost into double figures just off of the rim.
Got a really good look. Ball reversal against the zone.
Samantha Bailey misses a 3. That was just the 4th tray attempted by the Sharks tonight.
Bailey being healthy will help this team.
Making her 5th consecutive start, and Kitley ripped down. A hard-looking foul on Dowdy.
Yeah, they got their arms hooked as the ball came in. They both went for the ball. Kitley goes down awkwardly, but gives Virginia Tech a chance to run a baseline out of bounds, which has been pretty dangerous for the visitors.
Here's Kayla King. There, now she has 12 points.
4 for 10. Those are the numbers that you are used to seeing again for Kayla King.
Matching her season high for 3s in a game. There's a foul for the Hokies. Virginia Tech overall has hit 8 threes tonight, trying to improve from beyond the arc. And this is a game against a completely different team, but down in Baton Rouge, Hokies only hit 4 threes in the entire basketball game. Maya O'Brien with a creative, nifty shot there.
Yeah, she's pretty effective for a really small guard, but she can make plays, make an open 3. That was a nice play among the trees in there.
There's Matilda Eck. There's Amoore, another feed to Eck. And another assist. So Georgia Amoore with 9 dimes on the night, and Matilda Eck has 8 points.
Yeah, Eck, I thought she got off to a pretty good start. Again, didn't play a whole lot of minutes in that first half. But she's certainly been the most productive of the 3 transfers so far this season.
Adds that ability to shoot from the perimeter, coming from Michigan State, the native of Sweden.
Great free throw shooters, only missed 1 free throw all year. She's a big defender. She's not laterally really quick, but she's long, got good size, and she's strong. And she really understands positioning.
The Hokies have thrown out a lot of looks defensively that LIU has simply not had an answer for tonight. Yet another turnover for the Sharks.
We mentioned it in the first half, but I think Kenny Brooks really kind of challenged him to be more active, period, but especially on the defensive end, be a little bit more competitive, if you will.
Long, dangerous lob. King able to save it.
It's a heck of an athletic play to save that one.
Now goes back out. A safer pass this time. Tipped out O'Brien. Working up against Amoore, and Amaya O'Brien with a streak to the glass.
It's a nice play. Full speed, pressure coming.
And she's got all 4 points for the Sharks so far here in the third quarter. King again. Oh, Kayla King has simply just shot more tonight. Now when you're hot, you're hot. Stay shooting. That is her 5th 3 of the night.
And she puts the time in. You can't come here early enough before practice to see her. She is going to be out here getting shots up all the time.
Leads all scorers in this ball game. Meanwhile, almost an and one. Seeing a little bit more fire out of the point guard for LIU.
Playmaking point guard, a little crossover dribble. Gets by Amoore. Just that left wing to hold her off. Smart play by the junior out of Detroit.
This is the first one. O'Brien, just a 60% free throw shooter this season.
Sharks have players from all over the country.
Got a good amount from the West Coast as well as the home state of New York. King trying to go up against Tylis. Shot clock running down inside of 10 seconds. There's Eck, no good on the layup, and that was the best defensive stance of the night for the Sharks.
Pretty well. I think Eck maybe could have gone another dribble and had a better look, but yeah, pretty good play. Kitley knocks it out of bounds, trying to get the offensive rebound.
Amoore there defensively. The Hokies still on that defensive stronghold tonight. Georgia Amoore leading the way. Here's a 3 from O'Brien. Oh, she is leading the Sharks here in the third quarter, trying to make this competitive.
She scored more points than the Sharks did in the second quarter, all by herself.
Comes Wenzel to the square. Strack is there. And Carly Wenzel a bit slow to get up.
That's nice preventive officiating right there. Got a player down in the lane with action still going on.
A bit slow to get up, but it looks like she is going to stay in. And a foul called on O'Brien. That is her first personal.
Her first personal foul.
So LIU, team coming out of the NEC. They're 1-7 on the season. This is something that Mac talked about earlier, but those athletics programs between LIU Brooklyn and LIU Post merged back in 2019. That's going to be an interesting challenge to merge two completely different athletic programs. And not only that, a Division I program and a Division II program, as well as different campuses.
They had to decide on new nicknames, new colors. They had to decide new sports. And they have a bunch of sports.
Pretty giant athletic program.
Later on, we'll get to take a look at where they used to play basketball at the Brooklyn campus.
56-21. Kitley with another mid-range jumper.
One of the more unique buildings I've ever seen basketball played in.
Yeah, playing in a theater. Look at Kayla King. Long feed to Amoore. Return King. Yes.
You know how when your shot goes in, you play a little more aggressively on the defensive end? And Kayla King got rewarded for that on the other end.
Kayla King, that's her 6th 3 of the night. Meanwhile, 12 assists for Georgia Amoore. She already has the record for Virginia Tech with 16 in a game. And it's going to be very close to that with already 12 assists. Brings us to another break. 59-21. Everything working for the Hokies, Mac. Some games here. And it's very nice. And I don't know how I would explain that to my past self. He didn't have to.
Look at this.
Yeah. A couple years ago, I brought it on home and made it a little bit more of a well-rounded fat head. Don't have the hair anymore. And I think it's this has got to be a first for me.
It's too easy to say. When you say a fat head of me, is that redundant? What is that?
You sound like my dad. Oh, that's really funny.
I would have to be your granddad.
Meanwhile, the Hokies still dominating in this one, 59-22. Is Kitley able to lay it in?
Yeah, and that's a direct result of Kayla King being 3 for 5 from long range this half, because the defense went out there and left the 2-time player of the year wide open under the rim.
Yeah, Kitley does have 15. Ashley Austin still aggressive. Stick back able to go for Smith.
Yeah, the help was late, but the weak side did not come and block out after Kitley went for the block.
What a steal. Ashley Austin jogs to the glass.
Yeah, suffering that time. A little lazy on that pass. Got to fake one, throw one. Don't pick the ball up until you have somewhere to go with it.
Kayla King from 6 feet. That's the first shot she's attempted that wasn't a 3 tonight. Kitley, wow, what a block there. Sydney Smith.
Should be telling all our friends about that.
We have seen the intensity turn up a few notches for the Sharks here in the third quarter. Smaya Suffren pushed down to the floor. Acting head coach Chris Duncan.
I thought we'd see a little bit more of Sydney Smith because they don't have the height to stay with Kitley, but Smith is one of the bigger players, more physical players, and she made a really nice play that last time against Kitley. Samantha Bailey back in. Talked about the fact that she was injured early in the year.
Has now started the last 5 games. Bailey has hit 1 shot tonight. Another telegraph pass. Here comes Austin. And has made the Hokies pay for a couple of lazy passes.
Yeah, and there's been one theme there, freshmen. And that's something, that's part of the learning process.
Hokies having to work for it a little bit harder here as Kitley's forced to dribble. Finding an open Kayla King, who is absolutely on fire.
And the sharing of the basketball has just been amazing. Still with 21 assists on 22 assists on 24 field goals. That's incredible. You don't ever see that.
Well, Kayla King already has the record for most three-pointers made in a game for Virginia Tech with 9. She has 7 so far tonight. She was able to do that last season in the season opener against Mount St. Mary's here at Cassell.
We have to lobby Coach Brooks to stay in the game. I don't know if he's going to do that or not. She's got a whole quarter left.
Kitley able to back down and gets the roll.
You don't ever expect her to miss that little shot, the little fade away right in front of the rim. And she doesn't miss it much.
No. Eventually, Austin misses the layup. King thought about it. Here's Amoore's turn.
Amoore with only 3 points tonight. Only attempted 5 field goals.
Has a steal there that carries her out of play. Does have 13 assists, though. So that's always an interesting stat line when you see a player like Georgia Amoore, who has the ability to lead the way in scoring. She had 25 against LSU, 31 against Iowa, and tonight just 3, but 13 assists to go along with it.
Yeah, she kept the Hokies within striking distance against LSU. That game could have gotten out of hand the way LSU was playing. With that home crowd, what an atmosphere.
Meanwhile, for the Sharks, they have scored more here in the third quarter than they did the entire first half. Karis Baker dribbles into a 3, rattles it in.
She may have thrown an errant pass, but no errant shot for her.
A career high for Karis Baker in her short career for Virginia Tech. But she's 3 for 3 from the field here in this game against LIU. Meanwhile, a 3 able to be drained for the Sharks. And Kayla King have it at the buzzer from pro length. Samantha Bailey, no attempts, and we're 75% of the way through this one. 69.
I kind of wish they still played there.
Well, there is going to open up this spring as a concert venue in Brooklyn, so hopefully you get to see some cool acts down in Brooklyn.
It's a far cry from the old stage on the high school gym that we used to play in.
Well, it's kind of interesting, like Virginia Tech wrestling plays on a stage, or wrestles on a stage, I should say, at the Moss Art Center a couple times a year. Georgia Amoore hitting back up from downtown, her second 3 of the night.
She said, don't forget I can score 2.
Ashley Austin still in. She does have 10, trying to make it 12 there. She's the only Shark out there right now in double figures. Maya O'Brien with just 8, most of those coming in the third quarter. Karis Baker, who has been scoreless for a few weeks for Virginia Tech, now in the double figures with 10.
I smell biscuits.
75 points for the Hokies, which means everyone here at Cassell Coliseum can go get a sausage biscuit tomorrow at some local Bojangles. Brings us to a break. We can think about biscuits for a few seconds, Mac. 75-36, Hokies up.
Liberty Mutual Custom.
Long Island University member of the NEC. It's time for us to name that mascot, Mac. How many do you think you can name?
2.
Okay, so I'm going St. Francis, a Red Flash, Sacred Heart, Pioneers, Central Connecticut is a Blue Devil, and I learned Lemoyne before the game, so I don't think I'd really count that, because I think that's kind of funny.
That was pretty good on your part.
Well, it's kind of funny because
You're a trivia guy, though.
Yes. Lemoyne is in upstate New York, where there are plenty of dolphins.
No.
But I mean, I guess at that point, there's like 75 teams named the Tigers, and Tigers really aren't indigenous to America. And if anybody proves me wrong on that, please feel free to at me.
You're a trivia savant, though.
I don't know about savant. You just got to put in the work, Mac. And that's what a lot of people don't get. Here's Amoore from the elbow.
Coming off the screen, got free, nailed the mid-range jumper. Think how far she has come since she got over here. A long way to get here and a long way since she got here.
Yeah, think about that, just making the trip from Australia to America.
22 hours.
Yeah, and then not only just the sheer length of the plane trip, but then adopting an American culture in the midst of a pandemic. As Matilda Ek, another player to think about adopting American culture, coming from Sweden. She's had a solid night with now 10 points.
Multiple people in the double figures.
Kick ball on Amoore. Hokies still making their way through non-conference play. Gonna open up ACC play on New Year's Eve against Pittsburgh.
We'll be here for that one.
We will.
Game Sunday against the local school, Radford, the Highlanders.
Highlanders could make it competitive against Virginia Tech. There's Amoore again, a bit short. Baker there to clean it up at the end one.
6 for 6 and got fouled, played through contact. This is just going to do wonders for her confidence.
You got to think with Karis Baker, 6 for 6, 3 of those all from three land. So 15 points for Karis Baker.
Checking in for the Sharks, number 4.
Not only her confidence, but really has to help what Kenny Brooks thinks of this team moving forward. His freshman from Connecticut getting decent minutes and producing.
You know, we were talking with Kenny, and we often talk about him trusting them trusting him. But an even bigger point is when they trust each other. And you had a lot of that with that last year's team. This team is still a work in progress in that regard because of 3 transfers and 6 freshmen.
And I think another thing for Virginia Tech that a lot of fans that may look at a 5-2 record and think what happened, this team did lose 2 WNBA players last year. Taylor Soule and Kiana Traylor. And even then for Virginia Tech, it took them a while to really get into that big groove. You think about the loss to Notre Dame at home and then a loss to Miami on the road before the Hokies had that long win streak at the end of the season. What a bounce pass from Amoore, but it's picked away.
Yeah, telegraphed that one a little bit, kind of stared it down.
Pretty 3 from Elohim.
That's what she does. Only 19% on the year, but she is their best 3-point threat.
Kayla King, just trying to chase the record.
I think Coach Brooks wanted that ball moved from side to side a little bit. If you get that ball inside and then kick it back out or drive it in and kick it back out, it really improves the percentage chances of making that shot from long range.
Ryan chucks up a tray. Virginia Tech does have 15 threes. Amoore. She'll go to the line for a couple.
Kitley now with another double-double.
That's 6 on the season.
Number 2 in the NCAA. Don't know if this will put her up there tied for first or not. Depending on what else happens around the country.
17 points, 10 rebounds. Wonder if that is it for Kitley tonight. In the game, the Hokies are now leading by 41.
I'll be surprised if we see her again. I think she's kind of earned the right. She could probably check back in if she wanted to.
Just run up. Is somebody going to stop her? I mean,
really good switch right there. Kayla King got a little bit too aggressive with the hands. It was a good aggressive switch, though.
That'll be her first personal. Leader her way with the Hokies, Kayla King, 21 points. Elohim, wow, 2 back-to-back threes.
Yeah, Kayla King that time got too late on the closeout. We talked about her. Elohim is the best 3-point shooter they've got. And she showed it those last 2 trips.
And Kayla King trying to feed the ball in to Stracknow. Unselfish basketball as Virginia Tech now has a season-high 16 threes in this basketball game, which ties a record for this building. Hokies last had 16 threes made at Cassell back in 2020. Harris Baker got it.
Another assist for Georgia Amoore.
Make that 14 assists for Georgia Amoore. Hokies up 89-44. 17 threes knocked down tonight.
SoFi is helping me get my money right to achieve my ambitions.
But Eck has been the best newcomer in terms of counting on her production. But everybody else has kind of had one big game.
Yeah, look at this game. Look at those out of those supporting cast members that we talked about. Few of them here tonight for leading scorers. Harris Baker, how about that? 18 points. She's 7 of 7 from the field, and interestingly enough, missed a free throw with that, but still perfect from the field with 4 threes.
Strack with 7 points, 5 rebounds. And they're getting some quality minutes. They're getting an opportunity to go in there and earn that trust that we've been talking about. Or more specifically, that Coach Brooks has been talking about.
It will be interesting to see what this supporting cast can do for the rest of the non-conference slate, but really going into ACC play where it is once again another stacked year in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Virginia Tech picked at the beginning of the season to defend the ACC title, but Wes Moore's team right now with NC State has done a great job.
They've kind of not been a surprise, but maybe based on where they were picked a surprise, but they've got an outstanding team. Carolina's played really well, had a chance to beat South Carolina. Duke's playing great defense. Syracuse, Virginia, Miami have all played well. Notre Dame with some injuries, they're still playing well. Citron's been out. Olivia Miles has been out the entire season.
A shot clock violation. That's a tall task for Virginia Tech. A lot of new eyes on this program after the big run to the Final Four last year. Look at this preseason poll. NC State is now top 10 in the country, and they were picked to finish 8th in the league.
Yeah, I didn't even mention Louisville and Florida State. Yeah, picked 8th, and they're in the top 10 with they've got a couple top 10 victories already.
Ashley Austin. And that should not have refreshed the shot clock. Well, Brooks ready to come in for LIU. Drive in, lost the ball. Foul goes on the freshman suffering.
13 foul.
Four freshmen on the floor.
Yeah, Summiel's another interesting name. Tried to make that point earlier. Summiel had that 16-point performance, lifting the Hokies against the Green Wave, and got the start against LSU. Didn't even take a shot against the Tigers.
Yeah, she's a good defender. She can make open threes.
Into the freshman, and Clara Strack lifts the ball home.
That touch looks familiar, doesn't it, out of that position?
A tall center from Buffalo, New York. Big shoes to fill, but Hokies have another 5 to watch out for the next couple of years. Feed and finish. Baker pulls down the board. Foul called on Dowdy. Rowdy, that will be it. That is her 5th personal foul.
Baker again with an aggressive play there, rebounding in a crowd.
14 foul. Ticket number 14.
Well, Virginia Tech right now with 17 threes made. That is one shy of the program record for threes in a game, going all the way back to December 21st, 2019 against Wichita State, where the Hokies hit 18.
How about this one?
Oh, a bit too hard.
That was the look they wanted.
That is the look. And that is the first time Baker has missed from the field. I think it's the second time, actually, but still a career night for Baker.
Virginia Tech foul number 13.
Well, LIU want to fall to 1-8 on this one. They go back to Brooklyn against Manhattan. 15-day break. Opening up NEC play on January 6th. And they'll take on Stonehill in Brooklyn to open up league play.
At least a few closer trips for the Sharks.
Yeah, coming down to Blacksburg after a trip to Delaware. Olivia Summiel left open, able to knock down the mid-range. Tyler's 3 on the way. Summiel gets trapped amidst 3 defenders. Go to foul.
Go to the free throw line now.
So the Hokies' upcoming schedule will be back here this weekend against Radford on the call for you. Go at Rutgers. Potentially an interesting matchup.
They have set the Cassell Coliseum-record.
Men's, women's doubleheader on the 21st.
That's going to be an interesting day.
And then you mentioned the Pitt game. We'll see everybody then on the 31st. Little New Year's Eve action.
And just a recognition for the Hokies, a building record for assists in a game as a team. Hokies with 29 in this one. That goes all the way back. The record was 28. And that was in Liz Kitley's first game for most assists as a team in a game. It was 28 against the Red Flash.
All right, what's your prediction here? Hit 100 or not?
I don't know. Here we go. They're getting a little bit closer here. I say Tech maybe hits one more basket.
Okay. Well, you were pretty good at the trivia part of this thing.
I don't know. I'm not Nostradamus, Mac. I can't pick out the future here. Got to give it to LIU, though, Mac. After a really rough first half, it was 45-13 at half. They followed that up with a 20-point third quarter, 16 here in the fourth.
They have continued to battle.
They've had a lot more fight in them here. Step back 3 for the senior. Offensive board, foul called on the Hokies.
Yeah, Baker over the back right there. I think Coach Brooks thinks progress was made, and I'm betting you that's what he's thinking after watching this group.
Well, as always, room for improvement, but you look at a performance from Karis Baker with 18. Kayla King had 21, getting her groove back a little from three-point land. And then, once again, the unselfish play of Georgia Amoore, 14 assists. Wenzel running the point. Got the layup to fall with 11 and a half left.
A nice play by Carly Wenzel. Very athletic play.
swatted away. Stays with LIU. Whistle here right before the end of the game. There's a three from Elohim, an air ball, and that will be it. Well, Macca was right. Only one more basket. I told you.
I told you you'd be right.
98-50, Virginia Tech improves to